good morning, happy Wednesday. If you're watching this live, happy whenever. If you're watching this later, how are we all doing? I am about to go to Wisconsin for 2 weeks. So if you've been following along, you know that we are off to home for the next couple weeks. We leave this weekend, and so I am in preparation mode. In fact, let me see. Can I turn the camera around? Let me just show you where I'm sitting right now. I have got the table full of stuff that might make it onto the plane with us. That's today's job, is to sort through. These were all the possibilities. And then today's job is to sort through and find out what actually goes with us and what makes it into the carry-on bags. But this actually, the travel, so this trip home is quite a big thing for me. I took the girls last year, so it's not the first time, but that doesn't change the fact that it's a fairly big ordeal to take two little children transatlantic on your own when you're outnumbered by the children as the adults. And it's close to a 24-hour travel day, pretty much. So it's pretty intense. And like I said, I did it last year, but therefore I know how intense it is. But really, the way I approach it is really how I approach everything right now, and really kind of how it all works out. So I want to talk about it a little bit, not just in context of our trip, but more widely than that. And it's this combination of trust and surrender in the universe and believing that, things are going to work out. The universe has my back. Things will work out exactly as they're supposed to work out. So it's this mindset piece of trusting all this, but combined with preparation and aligned action. So in the context of the trip home, it's, the preparation part is this stuff. So, I'm making sure that I've got enough activities to keep the girls entertained and new things that they haven't seen before. I went and bought some, a whole stack of new books that Nora hasn't read, so she'll hopefully be more interested in reading those, and some new toys, and then some stuff that I dug out from the corners of our closets that I haven't played with for a while. A variety of different things. So there's some reading stuff. She's obsessed with, both of them are obsessed with drawing lately. So we've got drawing, we've got pom-poms, little matchsticks that they can play with, just a variety of different things. So that's kind of the preparation element. Oh, and snacks. There's going to be a gajillion snacks. That's also, is that today or tomorrow? It's probably tomorrow's job. But, if you've ever gone anywhere with children, whether they're yours or someone else's, you know that snacks are crucial. So there's definitely a big piece of the practical preparation, and I made sure that all the paperwork was done yesterday that I had to do. Everything's booked that needs to be booked. I've done the stuff that I can do to get ready. But beyond that, I can't do all of the trip in advance. There's so much that I can control, which is what I have done. And then there's a whole bunch that I can't control. And that is where the mindset piece comes in. So that is where it comes down to the trusting that it's going to work out, trusting that it's going to be okay. And I had a set of really good travel affirmations last year that I'm going to dig out again or come up with new ones, but that I just kept repeating to myself throughout the day. It was something along the lines of I trust that we're going to get there at the right time for us. I trust that everything is going to go exactly as it needs to go. I trust that, we're going to be able to get help when we need help. I trust that we are going to be in the right place at the right time. And so there's a big part of it that comes down to leaning back and surrendering to whatever comes up, surrendering to however it happens, because it might not go exactly as I wanted to go. When we went last year, for example, this was when we still needed COVID tests in order to get on the plane. And we had done, we'd ordered home COVID tests in advance. Nora and I needed them. Evie didn't because she was too little. We'd ordered the COVID tests in advance and sent them off. And we didn't get the results back. And by the time we got in the taxi to get to the airport, we still hadn't had the results. that is not how I would have, if I can imagine the perfect trip, I would have had the results back first. So it doesn't always go as you plan. But I could lean back and surrender into, but it is going to work out. So in the taxi on the way down to the airport, I booked an at-airport test. We got there. There was very little queue. Okay, there was a bit of a queue, but actually people let us go to the front of the queue because I had 2 children on my own. So again, trusting in the support of people around me. So we got to go a bit quicker. We did the test. We hung out outside and waited for the results. They came back positive. We went through. We had plenty of time. So, it's the kind of thing where I couldn't have foreseen that happening. But instead of stressing and panicking and being so worked up about it, I could just go with, you know what? I will find a way. I will find a way to make this happen. I trust that we're going to get the results that we need. I trust that we're going to be everywhere where we need to be at the right time. And it's going to be okay. So this year, I have no idea what fun surprises the traveling world's going to throw at me. I can only assume there's going to be some, I can only assume there's going to be some bumps in the road or something's going to go a bit awry, but I don't have any way of knowing what those are. So there's no point in me super stressing out about it ahead of time because it's going to be what it's going to be. Now, does that mean I'm not stressed at all? No, last night I was pretty darn stressy about all of this, to be totally honest. But that's because I didn't have the parking booked yet, and I couldn't, there was still some actions that I knew I could and needed to take that I hadn't done yet. So I was really stressy about how that was going to work. And so I did the actions, I talked through my stress with somebody, I took a bunch of deep breaths, and then I kind of just let the stress sit for a little while as well. I wasn't making that wrong. I wasn't going, oh, you shouldn't be stressed at all, because like I said, it's a pretty big thing. And there needs to be an acknowledgement of that, to be like, oh, don't be silly, don't be stressed at all, it's only you're popping around the corner to the park. That would be downplaying something that just isn't realistic. It is a big deal, and it's okay if I feel a bit stressed about it. But I took the steps that I could take because I talked to somebody, I let this stress kind of sit a little bit, and that's all right. And today I feel a whole bunch better about it. So it's that combination of the mindset work and the preparation and the action. And like I said, this is way more than just the trip. This is just a really good kind of solid example. And as I'm literally surrounded by my preparation, it's easy to talk about. But this applies to, basically anything. It certainly applies to, me leaving my job to do coaching full time. That's a huge one and a really big transition. And again, there's a big piece both of the mindset work and the preparation. And with all of this stuff, if you only do one or the other, it's not good enough, basically. Neither, just preparation on its own, but no mindset work, you're still going to struggle. Same with if you only do mindset work and no preparation, that's kind of just dreaming. And this also ties back to, if any of you saw my stories yesterday, I put up a picture of a print that I have from Callie Stay Cool, who is this artist who I absolutely adore. But she did this print that says, you can ask the universe for anything, but then you have to go and get it. And to me, that perfectly symbolizes this, the combination of the mindset, the manifestation of calling in what you want from the universe. But you gotta take the action. It doesn't just happen without any action at all. So back to the whole, me leaving my corporate job. If I had just sat there and dreamed up, I'm going to do coaching full time and it's going to be amazing and I'm going to leave my job and it's just, I'm going to journal and vision board, up the wazoo about what this life is going to look like. But I didn't do any of it. I would have left my job. I would have freaked the fuck out because my nervous system wouldn't be able to cope because there'd be nothing in place to support me in that. And then I would sit here with literally nothing. As opposed to what I did actually do, which was I did all that mindset work and I trust that things are going to work out, but I also prepared a lot. So I've got, a bunch of savings built up ready. So I've got financial security ready so that I can, go through the next few months and build as I need to. So I've got financial preparation. I've been, as you know, this isn't a new business. I've been doing coaching for over a year. So I started this last June. So this isn't actually a new business. been building up you guys. You've been following along with my journey. You've been following along. I've got clients who work with me. I've got, clients who absolutely adore what we do together. So although it's not a full-time client load yet, it's been building and preparing, and I've got people who absolutely adore what I do, and I adore them, and I adore working with them. So again, it's that mix of preparation and mindset. And I will move on to questions shortly, but just the last bit, like yesterday again, was a really good example of this whole combination of both the practical and the mindset, the manifesting and the going out and getting it, in that what day are we on? So on Monday night, it must have been, I'd been talking to my coach about how I desire more in-person support and in-person connection and sisterhood, because most of what I do and most of my business is online like this, and my coaches are both online, so they're both in the States. My clients are online, my sessions are all going to be held online, it's an online business. And like the sisterhood, the mastermind that I'm in is online as well. But I was recognizing that I wanted some in-person connection as well. And I've got this plan. Do you want a sneak preview? I'll tell you. So I'm going to be creating a divorced mums club, because I think that is needed. Like I was telling a girlfriend one night about, I just was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I feel so alone in this sometimes. Like there's no divorced mums club, but there should be. So Sheffield-based divorced mums club coming in the future. If you are interested in getting, the first details, if you're somewhere around Sheffield, send me a message and I'll get you on the list. But anyway, so I've literally just been telling my coach about this plan on Monday night and how that's what I desire. Tuesday, I, last minute, decided to go to a coffee morning networking event with a woman who I'd met pre-COVID, but I haven't seen her since then. But it's at her house in this lovely little coffee morning with women, well, not just women, actually, men and women coming together to chat and talk about their businesses, etc. It's like, okay, I'll go to that. It was a last minute decision, but I thought that should be nice. And then I show up and I meet this other life and mindset coach who is relatively new to the area. She and I just got along instantly. We have, kind of similar stories. We do very similar work. She just was brilliant. It was like the scene from Step Brothers where it's like, did we just become best friends? And when she had said to me at the end, after we've been chatting, she said, would you like to go get coffee sometime? And, I've been thinking about doing these kind of certain events, and said, would you maybe be interested in doing that with me? And I was like, yes, I would. And then I said to her, I've been thinking about doing this divorced mums club. Maybe that's something you'd be interested in. And she's like, yes, of course. And so it's just this beautiful coming together. Now, on the one hand, I was laughing because it was like, oh, hey, universe, I said I wanted this in-person support. And literally the very next day, I meet this woman and we're gonna meet up in person. So thank you for delivering that. But also, I had to actually take action. Had I just said that I wanted that and then didn't go to the coffee morning, I wouldn't have met her, would I? Had I just been sitting at home, I wouldn't have run into her. I wouldn't have connected. I wouldn't have heard her story. I had to go to the coffee morning. I had to engage in conversation with other people. I had to listen to what she had to say. I had to put myself out there and tell her what I had to say for us to know that we had this connection. Because even just going to the coffee morning still wouldn't have been good enough had I not actually been willing to, if I had only talked to the two women who I already knew, then I wouldn't have met her and none of this would have happened. So you have to be able to put yourself out there and take the action, as well as voicing the desire, trusting that the universe is going to deliver. You need both pieces, always. So, is there anything else I want to say on that? No, I think that's all I was going to say on that. So yeah, if any of that, if you want to talk more about any of that, let me know, and I certainly can. I can give more examples, or we can talk about how it applies in your life. But yeah, to me, those are always the keys to whatever you want, is the combination of trust, surrender, manifestation, asking for what you want, along with the practical preparation, aligned action, the doing. You need both pieces to get your dreams to come true. Okay. Oh gosh, I really talked a long time about that. Sorry, I'm going to have to whiz through questions. So one question that I had was about how do you reset yourself when something kind of throws you off track? And I thought this was a great question because something will always throw you off track, to be totally honest. No matter how much work that you do on yourself, no matter how much of the mindset and the preparation you do, etc. In life, you can be like super aligned with like your highest self, doing your greatest thing, and something will always come along and throw you off. Something will pop up and trigger you, or something won't go to plan and it'll just throw you off, etc. And how do you reset yourself is a crucial skill here. Like the first thing I always say is treat yourself with compassion and love, okay? Because again, this is totally normal and expected, and it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It's part of life and always will be. You can be going down the path and suddenly you're not paying attention, because maybe it's not even something that happens. Maybe it's just you're not really paying attention and you like veer off and you look down and you're like, oh shoot, I've been like walking, through the grassland instead of on the path like I had been. And that's okay. The thing is to notice when you're off track, to notice when something's throwing you off, and to bring yourself back onto that path. And with time and practice, you can notice it sooner and sooner. So instead of being like, oh shoot, I've walked for like half an hour in the wrong direction, it's noticing it quicker and quicker and being like, oh, I just took a few steps off, I can get back on quicker. And the sooner you can notice you're off track, the easier it is to get back, as opposed to, if you're like way out in the middle of nowhere, then it's going to take you a bit longer and harder work to come back to the path. So how do you do that? First step, like I said, is noticing and treating yourself with love and compassion and going, this is okay. This is all just part of the journey. I can handle this. And then it depends on kind of what it is, but talking about it can often help hugely. So if you've got a coach, going to your coach with whatever it is, talking to people that you love and trust. It can be connecting back in with yourself and checking in with what you need. So it can be things like, so I always come back to bringing pleasure into your life, bringing that feel good into your life. That is always, always, always going to be helpful. So whether that's comfy clothes, I've got leggings and a jumper and no bra on today. I've got a diffuser going over there. Probably can't see because the light's reflecting, but I got a diffuser, and today's, so I always put different oils in it, and today's is this like lovely wintry like grounding blend to help me, because I knew, like I said last night, I was super stressed. So today's vibe is like a grounded, centered, like I got this, I can handle this kind of vibe. So the smells certainly help me with that. It can be getting out and moving. So often movement really helps. So, if you're a runner or yoga or a swimmer or just a walk out in the, through the woods, whatever it is, but moving your body can really do a lot for like shifting energy. And then reminding yourself of what is true for you. So, I go through a list of okay, what's true for me right now. And sometimes, if I'm sitting stressy in the house, sometimes it's as simple, like when I'm thinking about what's true for me, I am sitting in a warm, cozy house and, it's raining outside, but it's not raining in here. It's true that I've got tons of blankets to keep me warm. It's true that, my mom is on the other end of the phone whenever I need to talk to her, except when she's at work. I hate work. It's just annoying and in the way, and she's not always there when I need to talk to her. I liked it better when she was retired and could just answer my phone calls whenever. Or it could be wider things. It could be what's true for me is that I know that I am a strong and powerful woman. I know that I speak my truth, that I speak with integrity. I know that I have good intentions behind what I do. Because maybe whatever's throwing you off, sometimes it can be coming from other people. Especially like for me, I still can get thrown off when people are questioning my actions or my intentions. And, if people are thinking like the worst of me, I can come back to, I know my intentions are good and pure. I know what was behind this. I know I'm acting with integrity, and it's not for me to prove that to anyone else. So reminding myself what is true for me at whatever level I need to. And then And then sometimes it just means, having some fun. Like I said, it's pleasure into your life. Sometimes that can just mean like fun, laughter, do something silly, have a dance party in the kitchen, have a dance party in the living room, shake it out, turn the music up or put some headphones on after kids are sleeping, and just dance it out. Like that's always super helpful for me too. So that's that one. I'm going to go with the second question I had, which was from a friend. So that I was talking about dating, and I was telling her about some conversations that I was having, and she was asking if this wasn't a question so much that she wants me to answer on here, but it came up because, in telling her about these conversations I have while dating, she's like, oh my gosh, like these, I didn't even know to have these conversations. She's newly starting dating again after a 20-year relationship. So I don't even know like what to be talking about. And can you coach me on how to date again? And the answer to that is yes I can, and I am going to. So there is very, very much a divorced and dating offer coming soon. So if that is something you're interested in, again, let me know and I can get you on the list for early info. But there's so much that I've learned about divorced and dating, and I would love to share it. And I know that there's quite a few of you. I'm not sure if you all are watching this, but I know there's quite a few of you in my world who are in a similar boat with divorced and dating, and I would love to have that conversation. So I'm not going to go into all of my tips right now because, like I said, that's not how she intended it, but I just want to tell you that there will be a divorced and dating offer coming, and if you're interested, let me know. The final one that I was giggling about, because this was meant as a cheeky and very sweet question, but I am going to answer it a little bit. So the question was from this guy who I recently started seeing, and his question was, how did you get to be so amazing? And as you can tell, it makes me smile a lot because it was lovely and sweet of him. But when I told him I wasn't going to answer it, he said, no, I really do want you to answer it. So I will try and give a very short answer of how I got to be so amazing. And I think, because really the answer is just by being like really fully embracing who I am. So not everybody is going to think I'm amazing. I know that I am not for everybody. There's plenty of people who like don't like me, don't get me, think I'm a bit like over the top or a bit or whatever. I'm not amazing to everybody. However, I think I'm pretty damn amazing, and I know that plenty of you guys do too. But the point is that by being totally ourselves, like really embracing who we are, what we love, and like kind of just going all in on ourselves, that's how we find the people who think we are amazing. It is that like, your vibe attracts your tribe kind of thing. So by really going all in on myself and loving who I am, I attract in people who like that too, who match that vibe, who think that like, I'm all right. So yeah, I think the main thing is really just going all in and discovering who you are and doing that. And it's having the confidence to do that and trusting that, yeah, your people will find you. Because if you're trying to be somebody else, and if you're trying to be who everybody else is going to like, and like, putting on some sort of like, I mean this figuratively and literally, like clothes that aren't yours. And if you put on your mom's clothes when you're little and you're like, oh, I'm really uncomfortable in this. Like I had a band concert and we were supposed to wear all black and I didn't have the right thing and I had to wear my mom's like blouse when I was in school. And I felt super uncomfortable at this band concert, my mom's blouse, because it just wasn't me, and like, but that's really obvious because I'm like, oh, and it's same way with like, personality stuff. If you're trying to like put on what other people want you to be in your personality, it's not going to have the right vibe. Like even if you do it pretty convincingly, it's just not, people can feel it's off. Whereas go all in on you, find out what you love and do it. These dance parties that I do, not everybody loves the dance parties, but I do. And I really think that dancing it out is so powerful in so many ways. So I'm going to keep dancing in the kitchen, dancing in the living room, dancing in the dining room with the girls. Like that's what we do because we love it. I think the other part in terms of his question, I had to get to be so amazing, is really being willing to look at my own shit and to get intimate with myself. Because part of why I'm connecting with this guy so much right now is that we are really having these, like I said, amazing conversations. We are really going in and talking about what's important to both of us. And that is allowing this really strong connection. But without being willing to look in and figure out what's really important to me and to really look at my stuff and, heal my past stuff from past relationships, and like without being willing to look at that and really go in, it doesn't feel as good. And that's, to be honest, that's a big part of what went wrong in my marriage, was I wasn't willing to take a look at my stuff. I was more than happy to look at what was wrong with him and to blame him for all the stuff in our relationship and be like, you should do this, that, and the other, and this is all your fault and all wrong. And I was perfect, absolutely perfect in all of it. Clearly that's not the case. But that was a huge problem because I wasn't willing to look at my stuff. And so now, as a result of more than 2 years of coaching and all of the work that I've been doing in the meantime, 2.5 years of all of this, I really can look at my stuff. I am not perfect still by any means. I'm never going to be. Although I've healed a lot of stuff and now I want to show up in relationships differently, I'm sure new stuff's going to pop up. And, as I try again in a new relationship, I'm going to find new things that I need to work on, new things that trigger me that I do to other people, etc. But now I'm willing to look at it. I'm willing to address that. I'm not hiding it in the dark anymore. I'm going, okay, I can see how that's an unhealthy pattern, or that's affecting you in some way that I didn't intend it to. Let me look at it. Let me be willing to do that. And I think that is absolutely enormous. And that is like pretty much the number one thing that I look for in a partner now as well, is I don't want somebody who's like, thinks that they've got nothing wrong or aren't willing to address it, or who goes, well, it's just the way I am, take it or leave it. It's just the way I am. The number one things I look for is, have you worked through your own shit? Are you willing to look through it, to look at it? Are you willing to keep working on things? Can you admit that actually you're going to have things come up, and are you going to address them, or are you going to shove them back in a dark corner? Because if you're going to shove them back in a dark corner and try and pack them in a box, I'm not interested. I want somebody who's going to go, okay, let's unpack this. Let's see what we got. How can we work on this? So yeah, I think that answers the question. But also, thanks for being so sweet. Okay, I think that's everything. I think I probably chatted for longer than usual today. So to wrap up, I will say that, as with any of this, always, if you want to, let me know what you think, continue the conversation in the comments, or send me a DM. We can chat about it in messages. If you want to go into any of this deeper for you, then let me know, and we can definitely talk about coaching together. All of my coaching offers are going to start in November. So like I said, we leave this weekend and we'll be gone for 2 weeks. So any coaching stuff is going to happen when I get back in November. But definitely you can send me a message now and we can set up extended payment terms if that's helpful for you. So you can absolutely, get in now and spread out the payments if that's helpful. Like I said, if you're Sheffield based or like local to Sheffield and you're interested in learning more about the Future Divorced Mums Club, let me know. I'll get you on the list. If you are interested in being the first to know about the Divorced and Dating, let me know that too. I'll get you on the list. I like lists. I've always loved lists, so it's fun. What else? Oh, I am planning on doing a tea break chat while I'm in Wisconsin. The time's going to have to change because 10 a.m. English time is 4 a.m. Wisconsin time. And as much as I love you all, I am not doing this at 4 a.m. Can you imagine what gibberish I would talk then? So timing will shift. I can't really say for sure what time it's going to be at the moment because I have to wait until we get there and see what's going on. But I will give you some sort of advanced warning, but it might be the case that it ends up that you watch it on the replay instead because I'm just not predictable enough with it. But yeah, that's the beauty of being on holiday with my family, is it's going to be unpredictable and beautiful and amazing. But yeah, I will plan to do the tea break chats, just definitely at a different time. So send me questions. I will put up the question box as usual, but if you've got anything that you want to ask, send me a message. Maybe have a drink, see if there's anything else. I think that's probably everything. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you sometime next week from Wisconsin. Also, if you guys notice the difference in my accent while I'm there, I would love to know, because sometimes it changes, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, that's all. I'll stop chatting. Mwah! Love you. Bye.